In this video, we're going to talk about the remainder theorem. Then we'll solve the example I've given here using the remainder theorem, and we'll also solve it using long division and synthetic division, just to get us more practice with using those techniques. Okay, so what is the remainder theorem? Polynomial f of x is divided by x minus a, then the remainder r is f of a. Okay, so let's see what does that mean. So here's an example. So in this example, we have this polynomial, and it's being divided by x plus 1. So this is the mentioned f of x. Okay, so what it's saying is that if I were dividing these two things, then all I would need to do is plug in whatever a is. So a in this case would be -1, right? Because it's x minus a, so it's whatever, you flip the sign of whatever you have behind x. So it's a +1, so you flip the sign, so then it becomes -1. So this is, the a is -1. So it's saying that if I were to divide these two, the remainder would be f of -1. Okay, so let's find the remainder of this, of this product, or this division, by the remainder theorem. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to plug in f of -1. Okay, so remember, this is f of x. So I'm plugging in -1 everywhere I see x there. So then this was 2 times -1 to the 5th power minus 10 -1 to the 3rd power plus 3 times -1 minus 2. -1 to the 5th power is still negative, right? Because it's to an odd power, so that becomes minus 2. And then -1 to the 3rd power is also still negative, so that -10 then becomes plus 10. And then minus 3 and minus 2. So -2 plus 10 is 8, minus 3 minus 2. Then this will be 5 minus 2, and then I will have 3. Okay, so the remainder is 3. So let's say we were to use synthetic division to find this remainder. Let's do that next. Okay, so let's find the remainder using synthetic division. We should get that it's going to be 3 due to the remainder theorem, but let's just test the remainder theorem, okay? Okay, so I'm using synthetic division. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this so that I don't skip over any powers of x. So I have 5, I'm missing 4, here's 3, I'm missing 2, and then there's 1 and 0. So let's go ahead and rewrite that differently. So this was the same thing as 2x to the 5th minus 0x to the 4th minus 10, or it could be plus 0, okay? Then minus 10x to the 3rd plus 0x squared, I kind of ran out of room, plus 3x minus 2, okay, and then it's still being divided by x plus 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and write down all of those coefficients. So I have 2, then I have 0, -10, 0, 3, -2, right? 2, 0, -10, 0, 3, -2. Got that from here. And now let's write the opposite sign of whatever you have next to x. So the opposite sign of that would be -1. Alright, drop the 2. Then I do 2 times -1, that's -2. Add 0 and -2, and that is -2. Then 1 times -2 is positive 2. Okay, so I'm doing the -1 times -2, and that's positive 2. Add those two, and you get 8. Oops, -8. -10 plus 2 is -8. Then you do -1 times -8, okay, and bring that there. That would be positive 8. Add 0 and 8, you get 8. Then multiply -1 by 8, and you get -8. Then 3 plus -8 is -5. Okay, then take -1 times -5, put that there. So that would be +5, and then you have -2 plus 5 is 3. Okay, whatever's at the end of your synthetic division, that's always what the remainder is. So that is the remainder. We can actually find what the polynomial, or what the quotient is as well. It would be, so remember we started with x to the 5th, so that means we're going to be having x to the 4th here, minus 2x to the 3rd, minus 8x squared, plus 8x, minus 5. Okay, so that's the quotient, and then this is the remainder, 3. 3 is the same remainder we found using the remainder theorem, so that's good. All right, now let's do this using long division. Okay, using long division, I should get the same answer I got using synthetic division and the same answer that I got using the remainder theorem. I should get that the remainder is 3. But let's go ahead and do this with just for practice purpose. Okay, so when I'm using long division, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this. And then when I write what's inside here, I'm going to have 2x to the 5th, but then I'm going to have the 0x to the 4th, so I'm not going to skip any power, just like how in synthetic division. Minus 10x to the 3rd, plus 0x squared, plus 3x minus 2. Okay, so let's get started. So I think you will find through this example why we use synthetic division. This is going to take a lot longer than the synthetic division did, and we'll end up with getting the same answer. But let's go ahead and go through it. So first thing is we need to know what do we need to multiply x by to get to 2x to the 5th. So that would be 2x to the 4th. So I have 2x to the 4th plus 2x, oops, that shouldn't be to the 4th, right? It could, because I should be doing 2x to the 4th times x, and then 2x to the 4th times 1. So that's 2x to the 5th, and then plus 2x to the 4th. Okay, subtract that off. So then this becomes a minus, and this becomes a minus. So these cancel, and then you're left with minus 2x to the 4th. Bring down the next term. Okay, so now what do I need to multiply multiply x by to get negative 2x to the 4th? Negative 2x to the 3rd will work. So minus 2x to the 3rd. So then I'll have minus 2x to the 4th, right? So I'm multiplying this by this. So minus 2x to the 4th, and then minus 2x to the third. Okay, subtract off this. So then this becomes, this becomes a positive, and this also becomes a positive. So these cancel, positive and a negative, and then this becomes, so I have negative 10 plus 2, so that's negative 8x cubed, x to the 3rd. All right, go ahead and drop the next term. So plus 0x squared. So I need to multiply something by x to get negative x to the 3rd. So that would be negative x. Erase that. I meant that to be in blue. So negative x squared. So negative x squared times x is negative x cubed. And then negative x squared times negative 1 is negative x squared. Okay, subtract that off. So this becomes a plus, and that becomes a plus. So these cancel, and I'm left with 8x squared. Drop down the next term, plus 3x. What times x is 8x squared? Positive 8x. So then I'll have 8x squared. 8x times 1 is also 8x, so then I'll write that plus 8x. Subtract it off, so then this becomes minus, and that becomes minus. These cancel, and you have 3x minus 8x, that's minus 5x. Drop the last term, minus 2. So what times x is minus 5x? that would be minus 5. So go ahead. So minus 5 times x is minus 5x. And minus 5 times 1 is plus 5. Oh, minus 5, I guess. Minus 5. Okay, and then you subtract it off. And so then this becomes plus, and that becomes plus. So these cancel. So negative 2 plus 5 is 3. So 3 is your remainder, and this is your quotient, which is exactly what you found while using synthetic division. You found it much faster and easier using synthetic division, but you know, this is the same answer.